Hi, Furqan. Thank you so much for coming to the Founder Talk. How's it going?
Thank you, Max, for having me again. And I'm as excited as I was before. Looking forward to this Founder Talk.
You've been already in our pitch event. I hope you enjoyed. Today you're doing the Founder Talk. And after maybe I hope you come to our new series of podcast, The Life of a Founder, which is different. It's more an intro to your life. So before start pitching, today the Founder Talk is more about your round that you're undertaking now. Before start pitching, would you like to give an introduction to yourself?
Yeah, so just a brief introduction of myself. So my initial education has been done in computer sciences before I delved into the world of finance. So my initial major was computer science. I did my undergraduate from a liberal arts institute here in Pakistan. I also had the opportunity to go to Stanford to take a couple of quarter semesters in data sciences, after which I basically joined Deloitte as financial analyst. And being working there for more than 2 years, I realized, and I personally faced a problem that was related towards personal finance and savings and investment across Pakistan. And that's how I started this venture, YPay.
So let's talk about your venture, YPay.
So YPay Financial Services is basically on a mission to democratize personal finance and savings and investment across Pakistan, and not just Pakistan, but the pan-Islamic region. So when we look into digital first mobile wealth managers all across the globe, we see example of Wealthprint in US, Grow in India, Ajaib and Bibit in Indonesia, and Sawa in Middle East. One thing there are some common similarities among all these platforms, how they have changed the way the people interact with their money, with their personal finance journey, and also how they automate their savings across the regions. So some similarities which were common were all of them were mobile first technologies. The user journeys were personalized and gamified for Gen Z and millennials. So they were targeting youth demographic across the globe, and they were instantaneous. The onboarding experience and the investment experience was instant, that they were able to create SIPs and make investments on a very short notice. However, Pakistan has no solution as of yet. We are the fastest growing population all over the world. We have the fastest financial inclusion rate all over the world. But our investment to GDP ratio has been stuck to 16% for the last 2 decades. And the major reason for that is that our retail investor sales is still based on telesales. So we believe that this is the time for Pakistan to have Wealthfront of its own, where we can offer mobile first technology, where you can invest instantaneously, and you can also track your wealth, and you can automate your savings as you go. So since our launch, so we were part of the first ever regulatory sandbox by the Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. We pitched this unique idea to the SEC, and they really liked our idea. So we got a commercial license last year, around March in 2022. And since our launch, we have scaled our user base to 20,000, more than 20,000 active customers that are actively using to save and invest through YPay and educate themselves about personal finance. And surprisingly, the average age of our investor is around 24 years. And they're first-time investors into the capital markets of Pakistan. So we started with our mutual funds product because of the economic condition right now. So right now, the interest rates in Pakistan are close to 22%. So low-risk mutual funds are yielding around 20%, which are the best savings platform, which are the best saving asset class for Pakistanis right now. We started with robo-advisory of mutual funds. Then we launched our Academy feature, which is built on ChatGPT-4 to give you customized, recommended educational material as per your needs. And recently, we have launched Money Circles. So Money Circles is basically our evolution of Roscan committees that is very prevalent in the Islamic culture. And we are going forward with YPay stocks, digital gold, and international stocks in the coming quarters. So initially, the revenue stream is from the mutual fund business and the robo-advisory feature. We make commissions out of the mutual fund business, and robo-advisory feature is a monthly subscription model, which users can opt on if they want to. We have facilitated more than $3.85 million through YPay's platform. We are on a monthly recurring revenue of close to 8.5 thousand. And the recent launch of many circles showed some good results. So we just did a beta, and the average monthly growth in the monthly recurring revenue is close to 40% for this vertical. We were able to do that because of the right strategic partnerships that we were able to do. Because of the SEC sandbox, we were enabled by the national database of CNIC. So all our users, we do initial KYC, we also do their portfolio management, and we manage their end-to-end journeys because of the strategic partnerships that we hold. So we want to start with Pakistan, but the idea is to expand into the Middle East region, all the pan-Islamic region that we can. So the idea is to, for the next 2 to 3 years, to scale it not just to Pakistan, but to the MENA region, where we have more than 100 billion market with more than 100 million Gen Z and millennial users who wants to try apps like YPay. So we started out with initial co-founders who had the passion to solve this problem, because we both founders faced this problem firsthand. We were joined by the industry experts who had the experience within the same industry and have worked in similar adjacent industries, and backed by investors and advisors who have invested and scaled similar products in other markets. So the idea is to scale this product, not just in terms of the product verticals, but also in terms of the market expansion. And for that, we are looking for $1.5 million for seed, which will take us for the next 24 months and will take us to more than 125,000 active customers in the next few years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Furqan. Any investors, what really matters them is scaling, becoming a serious company, right? Not because you're not a company, because startups, the very beginning, are not completely structured as a company. Now, you are in Pakistan, where for what I can understand, there is nothing similar to you, although there must be something that it's partially not equal, but it's doing something similar. And so before talking about how you scale, do you have really any competition in-house?
So in Pakistan, when we started out, we pitched this idea to the SEC regulatory sandbox. So sandbox is basically provided by the regulator to provide innovations that are not already existent into the market. So we were the first one to get this commercial license. But having said that, there are a couple of more competitors that have just entered into the market. We have the first mover advantage, but in distribution first market, first mover is not a unique advantage that you can hold for so long. So it's a distribution first market. You need to be on your toes to distribute your product as fast as possible to and acquire that market share that you can. But there are a couple of competitors that have just entered. We have yet to see what they have to offer, but the competition has started in Pakistan.
What's your plan to take as much as you can in terms of market share?
So since our initial user base is having an average age of 24 years, so those are usually university students or early or mid-career professionals here in Pakistan. So we have partnered with all the, so I'm part of the financial hub of Pakistan. I belong to Karachi, which is the financial hub of Pakistan. We partnered all the universities in Karachi, and we have partnered with more than 50 small and medium enterprises and startups where these kind of persona resides. And we do with startups, we do employee wellness program, where we basically do our financial wellness program. And with also universities, we also do a financial wellness program where we go for 1 hour session. We do 45 minutes of personal finance 101 education, and also introduce them with the product YPay, where they can start their personal finance journey and start their savings investment journey here in Pakistan.
I mean, educating any user, it's extremely important as QIC. Asset management is very complicated, but my point is, today, everyone is moving to ChatGPT, all of them. Everyone is moving to AI. There is such a race to move everything into the artificial intelligence. So in 10 years' time, we are not making any decision anymore. We just rely on machines, right? So on your case, what are you doing? Are you moving to a very strong AI-driven platform that will make
Mhm.
decisions, or not will make decisions, but will tell to your user, okay, it's better based on your criteria if you invest in this, and this?
Mhm. Absolutely. I think there is no denying that the world will be a completely different place after, especially after ChatGPT 4 launch. I think ChatGPT 4 is as influential as the launch of iPhone at that time. So there is no denying to that. And luckily, being a computer science background initially, I do hold these technology is very close to our product. So our YPay Academy module, which is an educational module, it is also built over these generative AI models. And the robot advisory feature is already using the modern day Monte Carlo simulations and all the AI technologies that are being used by giants like Vanguard and Blackstone for their portfolio allocations. So we are already on top of what's there in the world and what is there to offer. But having said that, we have to keep an eye on the technological advancements that are being taking place and how we can leverage the technology to solve an existing problem. So I am always an advocate of that AI in itself will not come up with a solution that is in need of a problem. We have an existing problem. We have to think that way, how AI can help us in solving that problem faster. And there are sometimes solutions that doesn't require AI to solve that existing problem. So with that ideology, I think we will be able to cope up with the technological advancement in the coming years.
Being asset manager, you need pretty much a big volume to create enough revenue, okay? And scaling not only in market size, but you must scale also in revenues. Now, what's your plan? I mean, in terms of money generating, where do you see the bulk of the money coming from? The advisory, the sales of the asset allocation?
Absolutely, you are right. Because unless you are dealing in billions, you are not earning in millions with the asset management company, and that is the correct estimation. So keeping that in mind, we have already you could say divided our revenue lines. So right now, the most revenue generating line is existingly the mutual fund business, but eventually the robo advisory feature will take up the asset under management revenue line. And eventually, we are about to launch YPay stocks and digital gold. So digital gold holds an essential value in Pakistan. So there is no digital gold product right now in Pakistan. We are coming up with the first digital gold concept here in Pakistan. And gold holds a very strong cultural value in Pakistan because it is being passed from family to family. And the rates of gold, the rate of returns on gold is significantly high in Pakistan because of the devaluation of the currency. So, for example, if the global market rate of return of gold is 20%, and we have a 40% devaluation of our economy, that means if a person is investing in gold, they can easily get 60% rate of return on gold, on products like gold. And gold is very essential for us, especially in the Islamic culture, especially in South Asian market where it is being passed to families and families on weddings. So gold will always be you can demanded commodity here in Pakistan. So we are thinking of alternate lines where we can generate good revenues and making sure that even if we are not able to collect billions in AUM within the mutual fund business, we are sufficient enough that we are able to generate revenue from alternate lines and are able to support our operations and being able to scale easily within these markets.
Now, this fundraising is for Pakistan, I suppose. The 24 months runaway to at least to take a good chunk of the market share in Pakistan. Okay, so what are you going to do after?
The idea is to not just to restrict to Pakistan. The goal is to first take a bigger market share within Pakistani market. But the idea is to go to pan-Islamic regions where the context is completely similar to Pakistani audience. So there are a lot of diaspora community that is living in the MENA region. And there are a lot of products, similar products that you can launch. So we have already built a technology. So we have to think of ways where we can leverage similar architecture and technology and get to another market and audience and have similar kind of an impact without actually investing a lot of capital in recreating the wheel or recreating the technology. So once we have the technology and infrastructure, we can always leverage it. We can also leverage the technology and being a SaaS partner to many other fintechs globally who wants to start their savings and investment arm globally. So the function of savings and investment within mutual funds companies and the stock market, the technology infrastructure is very much similar globally. So once we have built that modular technology, we can also leverage that technology as even if we cannot enter the market as B2C player, we can always enter the market as B2B player, where we can enable similar kind of products and similar kind of companies who wants to extend their investment arm or savings arm within their markets.
In terms of marketing, how do you approach your users, customers?
So in Pakistan, there is a very strong influence of influencers here. It's not just Pakistan, but the South Asian market. So the first go-to-market strategy that really worked for us was establishing the relationship with the universities and the small and medium enterprises, where we did our financial wellness program, personal finance 101 sessions. But apart from that, we partnered with all the educational influencers, micro and mini influencers, not very big influencers. And through them, we basically imparted financial literacy and personal finance 101 through them. And within that financial literacy, we introduced our product to the Gen Z and millennial audience here in Pakistan. And that really worked for us. So the two streams of acquiring customers that really worked for us were the financial wellness program and the influencer marketing that we did. We also tried, you could say, digital advertisements, but that really didn't work for us because numbers didn't work out for us because there was a lack of awareness within the market. So we realized that it's not going to be just marketing, it's going to be awareness plus marketing. And I think programs like financial wellness program or influencer marketing helps us to not just market our product, but also spread awareness among the masses. So they are able to adopt some products like YPay in their journeys, in their lives.
You are in this fundraising. Do you have any idea with the investors you are looking for?
So in terms of users, are you asking in terms of the user
No,
investors?
The investor they want to, the investor that you would like to have in your cap table.
So ideally, so the initial investors are those who have already invested in similar products. So I'll give you an example. Our first angel kind of board advisor was Ms. Shannon Tour. She was the first angel investor in a similar product, Sarva in Middle East. So that really helped us in coming up with the business model, how these models works, not just in Pakistan, but globally and in similar markets. The other, the later investors from Iterative VC were also part of similar products in Indonesia and in the Southeast Asian market. So that gives us an edge and understanding of how these products have scaled and work in different adjacent markets. So ideally, all those people who are passionate about these kind of models, it could be fintech in general, financial inclusion in general, but specifically into the investec market, who are passionate enough and who have a strong feeling of for these kind of products, irrespective of the market. That would be the perfect persona for the investors that we are looking for.
Why did you decide to start up with YPay?
Mm-hmm. So I think that is my personal story why I started. So when I was working with Deloitte and COVID happened globally in Pakistan, there was I think it was April 2020 when everything went virtual. I basically left Deloitte because my project has ended and it was a contractual position. I thought that I might save some money or invest some money and would be able to earn some returns to sustain myself. In contrast, when I was looking for another opportunity to work, and when I tried to open my first capital market account here in Pakistan, in the time of peak COVID, I had to visit the brokerage firm physically, and not just once. They asked me, they shared a list of documents that I needed to present, and I needed to come again to do my biometric and all the other stuff. So it took me more than 15 working days just to open my first brokerage account here in Pakistan. And a couple of visits in the time of peak COVID when everything went virtual here in Pakistan. So I think that hassle journey really made me realize that there is a huge gap between the Gen Z and millennial markets, especially early and mid-career professionals who have some kind of savings. Pakistan is also a free gig economy. A lot of freelancers, they have money residing in their bank, but they don't know where to park that money. And the risk appetite is there because more than million Pakistanis have invested in crypto, which is not yet regulated in Pakistani market, and lost more than $1 billion through Binance. So you can imagine these Gen Z and millennial kids have lost more than $1 billion in just a span of 1 year, opening more than million accounts in crypto, which is not yet regulated in Pakistani market, and have lost their money. And yet they don't have awareness about the local capital markets and have very poor to limited accessibility to this capital market. So that was the idea, and that was the personal experience that I started with. And I approached to the SEC that I want to not just impart the awareness part, but also want to create the accessibility towards the capital market. So a Gen Z and millennial kid sitting at their home, they can start they can open their account in a couple of minutes and start investing into the capital markets of Pakistan, just like they do in crypto markets.
And this is my last one. What's your leverage on investors? Why they should invest in your team, yourself, and of course, YPay?
Yeah, I think so I think this might not be the correct way, but I usually, when investors ask me what would be my ROI in next 2 years, so I always show them my first slide of all the investing products globally, for example, of Robinhood, Wealthfront, Grow in India, Sarva, and all the first investors, all the initial investors who invested in these products have gained returns handsomely in the next 2 to 3 years. So we are at an early stage startup, and comparing to all these investing products globally, and even in South Asian region, you can have a sense that these kind of products will give handsome returns to their initial investors, and it will not even take 10 or 15 years. It can give you huge returns within 2 to 3 years. So I think that is the best way to answer the ROI of what an initial investor can get by investing in these kind of products.
Furqan, thank you so much for coming to the Founder Talk. It's been a very
Thank you so much, Max, for having me. And I think it was really great to connect with you again. And I'm looking forward to the podcast series that you are having.
Thank you so much. Take care.